The tip I'm going to show you today, I think is going to shock you. Welcome to Rip's Teaching Tips. I think that discipline has no place in a classroom, and I'm going to tell you why. Here is the dictionary definition of discipline. It's the practice of training people to obey using punishment to correct misbehavior. Let's put that in a teaching context. For example, a student does something that breaks the classroom rules, and so a teacher who's using discipline doles out a punishment in the hopes that the kid won't like the punishment, so the kid's not going to repeat the behavior. Typically, in schools, the more serious the transgression by the kid, then the more severe the punishment. I'm going to set that aside for a moment and ask you to answer this question for yourself. Why did you become a teacher back in the day when you were choosing a profession? I seriously want you to answer that for yourself. Now, I'm going to bet that not one of you who's watching this said to yourself when answering that question, I became a teacher so I could punish kids. No one. None of you said that. Most likely, you became a teacher because you wanted to teach kids things that were worthwhile. You wanted to help them. Now, you probably weren't naive. You knew that some kids are going to misbehave some of the time, but you didn't put on an evil grin and sit there and devise ever more painful ways to punish them when they did misbehave. And that's why in my classroom, and I hope in yours, discipline is a bad word, simply because it focuses on punishment. I have no interest at all in punishing kids. I do have a very, very concerted interest, however, in teaching them. Now, don't mistake this. No kid I ever taught, and no teacher who ever watched me teach, would ever describe me as a softie. Rather than discipline, I use choices and consequences. Love those two words. Now, I have great respect for kids' freedom to choose and their ability to choose different behavioral options. However, each of those choices comes with consequences. So if you're in my classroom, hopefully in yours, and you behave according to our classroom norms, there are consequences for that. If you choose, and it is a choice in most cases, to violate our classroom norms, then there's consequences for that as well. These consequences apply to all students, every time, all of the time. I became a teacher because I wanted to teach and I wanted to coach kids, not to punish them. How about you? Thanks for watching. And for more Rip's Teaching Tips, check us out on Facebook, TikTok, and Instagram.